Welcome to Hofstra Today.
Hofstra introduces a new provost.
I go to the Long Beach Polar Plunge to get freezing for a reason.
And the national champion Hofstra dance team joins us live in studio.
All that and more at and around Hofstra Today. Welcome to Hofstra Today. I'm Max Zacco.
And I'm Gabe James.
Well, Gabe doesn't know we're going to do this, but last week, Gabe won an award for the NCAAP Drama Person of the Year. So, Gabe, we got you a little bouquet of flowers to celebrate your win. Gabe did not know we're doing this. We had a fake banter. Honest, this is a real reaction from Gabe. We just want to celebrate you, and I want to say you've been the best co-anchor I've had the privilege to work with, and you are more than deserving of that award, Gabe.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Max. Thank you, Hofstra Today.
Caught speechless?
I really am. It really was an honor to win the NAACP for Drama Film Creative of the Year, and I'm really happy to share that with my Hofstra Today family.
Well, I'm glad you can enjoy them, and I hope you enjoy the flowers, Gabe. Let's get into the news. Hofstra University has announced the appointment of Dr. Charles Reardon as the next Provost and Senior Vice President of Academic Affairs. In a statement, President Poser said she is excited to, quote, have someone with Dr. Reardon's depth of experience and knowledge in research, academics, and student success as a partner in building Hofstra's future. Dr. Reardon previously served as the Vice President for Research, Scholarship, and Innovation at the University of Delaware, where he expanded the university's research facilities and infrastructure. The doctor will join the Hofstra community on July 1st.
On Monday, Hofstra University announced an updated policy in response to the state rollback of mask mandates. President Poser addressed a multi-phased and deliberative approach to masking in an email to students, citing a drop in cases across the county and a near 100% vaccination compliance. The first step of the policy was making masks optional during athletic events in the MAC arena. As part of the second step, students will no longer be required to mask in residential halls, and eating is no longer restricted to designated dining areas. President Poser also announced an increase in surveillance testing from 8% to 15% of the student population. Hofstra will continue to work with Northwell Help to monitor COVID policies and to advise on further policy changes.
Attention all Hofstra students. President's Day break has returned. On Monday, February 21st and Tuesday the 22nd, the university will be closed. So take this time to recoup from the first few weeks of classes and make sure to stay warm and relax on this long weekend.
Have an important job interview coming up? No problem. Hofstra Careers Closet is back to assist with all your wardrobe needs this spring semester. Their Career Closet is equipped with a wide variety of professional clothing options. Time slots are now available between Wednesday, March 2nd and Friday, March 4th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Students can shop till they drop by logging on to their Navigate account to schedule their 15-minute time slot. Happy shopping, Hofstra!
Kick off the month of March in a productive way by learning how to design a marketing and advertising roadmap completely unique to you. Market yourself and your business can sometimes feel like a full-time job all on its own. So, on March 1st at 7 p.m., get introduced to all sorts of low to no-cost technology that can be used to assist your advertisements, gain marketing templates, and create the perfect checklist for financing and assistant applications. Prior registration is required for this virtual event.
The Frank G. Zarb School of Business is hosting a fireside chat with Brian Lessig, the Managing Director in the Strategic Advertising Group for Rockefeller Capital Management. Lessig is a Hofstra University alum who founded Grace Bay Ventures, LLC. This is an investment firm focused on financial services, sports entertainment, healthcare, technology, and blockchain industries. The fireside chat will be moderated by Professor Eugene Macaron on Wednesday, February 23rd at 1 p.m. The event will take place in the Cultural Center Theater, and students can RSVP on the Hofstra events calendar.
Hofstra's educational and policy leadership programs are hosting the event Preparing for the Next Generation of Educational Leaders. Dr. Eustace Thompson will give students insight into graduate programs, networking opportunities, and steps to prepare for their future. The event will take place on Thursday, February 24th at 11 a.m. and students can RSVP on the Hofstra events calendar.
On February 23rd at 1:15 p.m., the Seeking Purpose series is featuring President Susan Poser. Attend to hear from and interact with Poser on her career and professional journey. This event is open to all students and will take place in the Student Center Greenhouse. Advance registration on the Hofstra Events website is required.
Director of Public Safety Geraldine Hart is starting a new program called Dishing with the Director. Every Wednesday from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. in the Student Center Room 111, students, staff, or any member of the Hofstra community are welcome to come down and meet with the director herself with any issues, questions, or concerns. This program will happen every Wednesday until May 11th, and no appointment is required.
After the break, we have Ariadne Morales with this week's weather forecast. Don't go anywhere.
There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and kissed them all soundly.
Lights out.
Good night. And put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
This is where you rise, this is where you shine, this is where you become the greatest of all time. History in the making. This is history in the making. History in the making.
Vote for your life.
Now let's hear about this week's weather forecast in Hempstead from Ariadne Morales.
Thanks, Max and Gabe. I'm Ariadne Morales, and here's this week's 5-day weather forecast. For the rest of the day, we can expect the cloudy skies to stick around with a high of 44 and a low of 23. Thursday will bring clouds during the day and a mix of scattered thunderstorms and heavy gusts of wind with a high of 53 and a low of 50. Now let's take a in Hempstead. Friday will bring more heavy winds with a mixture of sunshine and clouds throughout the day. During the evening, expect clear skies and chilling temperatures. There will be a high of 54 and a low of 23. Into the weekend, we will see mostly clouds with patches of sun throughout the day. On Saturday, with a high of 44 and a low of 24. On Sunday, expect to have a pair of sunglasses ready because we will have sunny skies all day with a high of 39 degrees and a low of 35 degrees. That's all for the 5-day weather forecast. I'm Ariadne Morales. Back to you, Max and Gabe.
Thanks, Ariadne. Last weekend, the Make-A-Wish Foundation hosted a polar plunge in Long Beach to raise money for charity, and Gabe and I took a trip to the South Shore to learn more about this community event. Let's take a look.
I'm Gabe James, and here at Long Beach, we're here for the annual Polar Bear Plunge.
And I'm Max Sacco, continuing our series of things to do away from Hofstra today. I'm going to be doing the polar plunge.
The event itself is in its 22nd year. It's a wonderful event. The Long Beach Polar Bears have raised over $8 million, and people are very generous to support Make-A-Wish.
At Make-A-Wish Metro New York, we grant wishes for children between the ages of 2.5 and 18 years old, and we basically give them hope, and we give them an opportunity to feel like children again and have their one true wish granted.
I do the polar bear plunge because my friend actually had cancer when I was 13 and had many make-wishes made for him through polar bear plunge, and I work for a nonprofit which is for kids whose siblings have cancer or their parents have cancer.
The Polar Bear Plunge, it's an incredible community-driven event. The people of Long Beach, they're so passionate about giving back to their community and supporting people who want to help the organization.
The money that we raise from events like this help us to grant these wishes. We feel it's really important work, and our Wish Kids are proof of that.
Max is now heading down the beach, picking up speed as he goes. Oh, that first wave really got him, and he's down. But he's still alive. He's making it back. He's making his way out of the water.
For the kids, anything for the kids.
If these kids can deal with what they're dealing with, if a 4-year-old can deal with chemotherapy, I can deal with jumping in the ocean and being cold for a few minutes if it's for a good cause.
Reporting on site at Long Beach, I'm Gabe James.
And I'm Max Sacco, and I did the 2022 Polar Plunge. I'm still cold from that day, Gabe. I still have yet to warm up since we've done the Polar Plunge.
But hey, Max, you know that it was all worth it because, right, anything for the kids.
Gabe, I walked in sand for a mile, but you know what? Anything for the kids. I had a fun time, my 4th time doing it. What were your thoughts? I mean, as you said, that was your first time seeing something like that.
Yes, this is my first time even learning about the Polar Plunge. It was a really amazing opportunity to just fill out what people are doing around Lake Long Island.
That definitely makes sense. But now let's go to some entertainment news and let's check out all the fun all around the fantastic campus of Hofstra University with Madeline Greenberg.
Thanks, Max. On February 25th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m., the Art of the Dagon exhibit in the David Filderman Gallery is open for viewing. For free admission, go enjoy the works by the Dagon people of Mali. The sculptures, masks, jewelry, and other works in the exhibition are worth the sight. The exhibit is funded by the New York State Council of the Arts with the support of Governor Kathy Hochul and the New York State Legislature. Contact the Hofstra University Museum of Art for more information. Hofstra's Department of Drama and Dance presents The Revolutionists, a play by Lauren Gunderson that follows 4 bold women during the French Revolution. The girl-powered comedy, which will be directed by Ilona Pierce, explores topics of feminism, violence, activism, and art. The Revolutionists will open in Shapiro Hall's Black Box Theater on Friday, February 25th, and conclude on March 6th. All members of the Hofstra community can receive their free tickets through the Drama Department's website. You won't want to miss this great show. The International Championship of Collegiate A Cappella is currently hosting nationwide quarterfinal competitions. 3 of Hofstra's a cappella groups have made it to the Northeast Region quarterfinals. Both Sigma Capella and the Hof Beats will be performing virtually on Saturday, March 5th for a shot at making it to the semifinals in Boston. Hofstra's only all-female a cappella group, Making Trouble, will be competing in person at the New York Society for Ethical Culture on March 5th for a shot at the semifinals as well. Everyone here at Hofstra today wishes all 3 teams the best of luck at the ICCAAs.
Thank you so much, Madeline. Don't go anywhere. After this quick commercial break, Aries Davila is making their anchor debut with your national news.
Hey everybody, it's gonna be just plain hot out there. So stay cool in your mood and keep your eyes on the road when you're traveling. Hey, this weekend lot.
Every year, almost 40 children die of heat stroke after being forgotten in a vehicle. In 70-degree weather, it takes only minutes for the inside of a car to heat up like an oven. At 104 degrees, heat stroke begins, followed by loss of consciousness.
Yeah. Should go an hour and a half or so.
Leave without your child, live without them forever. Look before you lock, brought to you by Kids in Cars.
And now with your national news update, here's Aries Davila.
This afternoon, we have more details on the developing situation in Ukraine. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken has announced the temporary relocation of the U.S. Embassy in Kyiv, as tensions remain high over the threat of a Russian invasion of Ukraine. Blinken spoke on the record to Good Morning America this morning, saying a Russian invasion could happen at any moment, and NATO defense ministers have released a statement saying that they are gravely concerned about the conflict. This comes days after President Biden's call with Russian President Vladimir Putin to discourage an invasion. The United States is encouraging a diplomatic approach to the tense situation, but the U.S. and its allies are also preparing for a multitude of scenarios. Ukrainian officials are also calling for peace and unity. More than a dozen countries have encouraged all citizens to evacuate Ukraine as soon as possible to prepare in the event of a Russian invasion. The 2022 Winter Olympics are underway in Beijing. 91 nations are competing in 7 sports, including figure skating, snowboarding, and skiing. This year's Olympics have been subject to multiple concerns, including COVID-19 and China's track record on human rights. While the United States is competing in the Beijing Olympics, the U.S. is diplomatically boycotting the Games. Additionally, the major story coming out of this year's Olympics is the case of 15-year-old Russian figure skater Kamila Valieva, who tested positive for a banned heart medication. While the Olympic Committee has cleared her of any wrongdoing, the Russian Confederation was previously banned at the 2014 Games in Sochi. Additionally, the IOC is being criticized for their clearance of Valieva when Sha'Carri Richardson was banned from competing in the Summer Games in Tokyo last year after testing positive for marijuana. The Beijing Games will conclude this Sunday. And finally, Governor Hochul's recent announcement scaling back the mask mandate for businesses has brought several changes to the state. It is now at the discretion of towns and private entities to determine what their mask policy is. Meanwhile, the city of New York is taking action against unvaccinated workers. More than 1,500 city employees were fired this week due to their vaccination status. The city had sent a notice to employees last month saying they had to show proof of vaccination or face unemployment. Nearly 75% of the state is fully vaccinated against COVID-19, and the statewide positivity rate has fallen below 6% for the first time since the holiday surge. That's all for your national news. I'm Aries Davila. Back to you, Max and Gabe.
Thanks, Aries. Hofstra Today is one of 5 wonderful shows on the Heat Network, and with this being the 20th anniversary of the network, Heat General Manager Megan Roderick and Sports Beat producer Ariadne Fisher are creating a special episode to celebrate. Let's take a look.
All right, well, I got an email from Dr. Gershon in, September, informing me that this year is Heat's 20-year anniversary, and so he asked me to brainstorm ideas for how to celebrate it. And my first thought was to do a show, but I didn't think that we were actually going to be able to do that. But I ended up pitching it to him about a month later after suggesting some smaller ideas, and he was all over it.
Yeah, so we really wanted to focus on kind of the creators of all the shows and who started the Heat Network, because it's really important because we're here now 20 years later. So Dr. Gershon was able to kind of give us names, and he was able to tell us stories about past experiences and stuff. So it kind of led us to create this show. We're going to have a bunch of packages. We're going to do some interviews. We're going to have a panel, and we're going to have like a trivia game with current students, just to have some fun and celebrate 20 years of Heat.
I think the trivia game is probably my favorite thing that I came up with for this. Before, it was just going to be packages and a panel, and then I was like, oh, a trivia game would be fun, and I have not received any negative feedback about that. And I'm excited for that. Just a little, something fun. I love talking to Dr. Peter Gershon about, what Heat used to be like. I'm really excited to be interviewing him for it, because he was just he's the guy who started it, and hearing him tell stories about the first couple of years of Heat versus how it is now and how the whole thing has developed is completely insane. It honestly is a miracle that we are where we're at, considering where we started.
Yeah, so one memory and kind of tradition that I would like to see continue on that we've done for the past however many years in Sports Beat is when we finally wrap up the show and we kind of do all these bump shots, we have all the talent kind of throw their scripts and their papers at each other, and we do it in the control room, and we're able to see us kind of have a little bit of fun after we just had a really great show. So I'd love to see that still continue to happen after I graduate this year, and kind of see maybe other shows start to do something like that, or kind of keep their traditions that they've been doing forever.
It's going to be pre-filmed, and it's going to air live on Sunday, March 13th at 7 p.m. And you can watch it on the Heat Network YouTube account. You can also watch it on the Lawrence Herbst School of Communication YouTube account.
Wow, I am really so excited to tune into that special show. After this quick break, we will have an exclusive interview with the nationally ranked Hofstra dance team, as well as everything you need to know about the world of Hofstra sports. Don't change the channel. We'll be right back.
I'm Dr. Shelley Flace with today's tip for kids from the American Academy of Pediatrics. If you own firearms, it's your responsibility to make sure they're always stored safely. Hiding them in a closet or drawer is not enough. Kids know where they are. Research shows the risk of injury and death is lower if guns are stored unloaded and locked up, with the ammunition locked in a separate place. This is important when children are young, as well as when they grow into teenagers. For more, talk with your pediatrician or visit healthychildren.org.
To me, the most important thing about being in the human race isn't winning. It's participating, living life to the fullest, emphasis on living. This is what makes life, life. Yet how much of life are we willing to miss out on? Untreated hearing loss affects our mobility. It increases the risk of falls by 50%. Good hearing health is essential to staying engaged and doing what we love. Hear well and stay vital. Get a hearing health check every year.
back. Here's everything you need to know about Hofstra sports with Danny DiCrescendo.
This Friday, Hofstra men's lacrosse takes the field under the bright lights of James M. Stewart Stadium against Navy at 6 p.m. It is their last game before the Long Island Challenge, so they will be looking to build some momentum with a victory. The Pride started out the season strong, winning their first 2 games against Merrimack and Sacred Heart. Come out to support your Pride as they try to continue their winning streak ahead of their game against LIU. For tickets, go to HofstraTickets.com. Hofstra's track head coach Vincent Giambanco announced the captains for the 2022 indoor and outdoor seasons. Paul Marcavina, Sophia Masciarelli, Jordan McDonald, and Morgan Sirks are the 4 captains. This is nothing new for Masciarelli, McDonald, and Marcavina, as they were captains for the cross-country team in the fall. Sirks, on the other hand, is new to the program. She's a graduate student who transferred from Siena College, where she ran cross-country and indoor and outdoor track for all 4 years. Let's give them a big congratulations and wish them luck as the season progresses. And finally, last night, the Hofstra men's basketball team got an all-time performance from Omar Silverio. He poured in a career-high 40 points and hit a staggering 11 threes to lead the Pride to a 97-64 triumph over Elon. Those 11 threes from Silverio are now not only a team record, but a CAA record as well. With the win, Hofstra improves to 18-9 overall and 10-4 in conference play. The Pride return to the Harwood home this Saturday against Northeastern, while they will honor former head coach Joe Mihalik prior to the start of play. Now, after this quick commercial break, we have an exclusive interview with the captain of the Hofstra dance team.
There's just something about music that stirs the soul, makes us crank it, let go and come alive. This is what makes life, right? Yet what if too much of a good thing today could make us miss out on life tomorrow? 1 in 5 American teenagers now has some type of hearing loss. Loud noise is the most common cause. And these days, we're plugged in louder and longer than ever. Let's hear for life. Turn the volume down.
Hey, this is Kevin Love from the Cleveland Cavaliers. At times, life can feel scary, and we can get overwhelmed by anxiety. Mindfulness can help you get through these tough times. My nonprofit is partnering with Headspace to offer free content to help you stress less. It's as easy to do as this. Take a big, deep breath, in through the nose, out through the mouth. In and out. Head to kevinlovefund.org/headspace and be kind to your mind.
Welcome back to Hofstra Today. Gabe, it's always impressive when you can say there's a national championship team on your campus, and we have one of those on our very own Hofstra University campus with the 9-time national champion dance team.
You know, it's really so exciting. I love saying Go Pride, and it's made even better that our very own associate producer Gab is a member of this nationally award-winning Hofstra dance team.
It just shows that these athletes have to balance both work, social life, and even their sports as well. But now we are live in studio, and we have Louis Grasso, who will be talking to the captain of the Hofstra dance team, Gianna Cohan.
Thanks, Max. I'm here with Gianna Cohan, the captain of the nationally ranked Hofstra dance team. Gianna, thank you so much for joining me today. I see the medal is draped around your neck. Congratulations. And please just, first of all, tell me what kind of preparation went into nationals?
Yes, thank you so much for having me here. So to prepare for nationals, we prepare all year long, starting right from the summer, right from the next season, starting now for next year. To prepare for nationals, pretty much during the intersessions between fall and spring, we practice every day nonstop, about 2 to 3 practices per day, and we go through technical execution of our skills, and we clean till we can't clean anymore, and we just keep re-cleaning until everyone looks exactly the same, because execution is a huge part of our score sheet. And we also do location changes. We go to the PEB, the arena, here at studios, because the judges are so far at nationals. We want to be able to produce the same thing, what they see. So we want to be able to see that, and we also videotape so we can play back and fix anything that we see.
And so much preparation, so much discipline. I got to know, though, when you finally win nationals and you're holding that trophy, what's going through your head? What are you feeling?
It is a feeling like no other. It really makes you speechless. All that work you've put into the whole season is finally worth it, and that is the moment you've been working the entire season for. Every ounce of workout, We run time miles, every time mile. All these things that we put into our preparation is so worth it, and we just are so happy and so proud of what we put on that floor.
And you've been here at Hofstra for 4 years now. You're a senior captain. You've been a part of 4 different championship teams while you've been here. Being on the other side of it now, being a champion for so many years, what advice would you give to students that are maybe a young dancer just starting her athletic career, or really any student that's getting into that here at Hofstra or any school?
I'd just say just to play to your strengths. Be you. Do not try to be anyone else, and just do the best you can. Though you are going to stand out if you just portray everything that you can portray in yourself and not try to outdo others, and just play to your strengths. Yeah.
I think that's a great answer. And, obviously we know what COVID did to the world, and it put you guys, as well as a lot of other sports, fully remote. So could you just tell me the difference? You've done both, pre-COVID, after COVID. You've been remote, in person. Could you just tell me the difference between competing, practicing when you're in person versus remote?
So we were remote for a full year virtually on a screen in our own homes, away from each other, practicing, which is very hard because just like any other sport, it's a team, so it's very hard to be unified. We practiced all year long. We never stopped, never. Fire drive was always there because we knew we would finally get back here eventually. We just didn't know when. So to prepare for virtual nationals, we only had 4 weeks for our first video date, which we usually have the entire season from summer to January to prepare. But we did 2 routines. We did POM and we did game day. So for virtual, we just kept drilling, learned the routine, cleaned it as fast as possible, and then we just had to perform it in an empty arena. We had a screen of family and friends, but you can't hear them, you can't see them. The adrenaline's not the same as when you're in person. So when you're in person, there's semis and finals, just like there was for virtual, but semis and finals is 2 different days. So you pretty much just put your routine out there for semis, you get a placement, and if you make finals, you head into finals the next day, and then obviously the adrenaline and your family and friends are finally there, so it was just so awesome to be there again.
Of course, and I can only imagine how awesome it is for those young players who came up last year and only did it remote to be able to be in person at nationals with you. So could you talk a little bit about what that could have been like for them?
So for the freshmen and the sophomores, it was brand new to them being in person at nationals, and they really just trusted the upperclassmen, the 5th years and the 4th years, and our captains, and they just went full force into it, and so thankful to have them on our team.
And I just got to wrap up here. What is next for the Hofstra dance team? So much exciting stuff in the future.
I don't know what isn't next. We're just always striving to be the best team that we can be, and we just want to continue to be amazing. And yeah, just nationals next year.
Of course, and congratulations. Thank you to Gianna for chatting with us. Now back to Max and Gabe to wrap up our first show of Hofstra Today.
That'll do it for the first episode of Hofstra Today in 2022.
You can tune into our next episode on March 9th, only on the Heat Network.
And make sure to follow Hofstra Today on Instagram, Twitter, and like us on Facebook.
Signing off for Hofstra Today, I'm Max Sacco.
And I'm Gabe James. Stay warm, Hofstra.